company have a plan to succeed. The question is, do you have what it takes to succeed? Here at SR Consulting, we diagnose business need by designing and implementing an operational model of human resources with components that maximizes effectiveness and efficiency. We'll help you create a tailored framework of human resources according to the specific needs of your business today as well as the future. We will guide you through this journey by creating a platform to manage your HR data, which will help you return value, increase margins, and revenue. Call us today for a consultation at 346-317-9717.
West Show. This is Sherman, your host. I'm with Mutual of Omaha, and this is a partnership with the NowMedia studio, which we are in here, and also the Houston West Chamber of Commerce. So we welcome you to this unique setup here. We're leveraging the value of technology. We're live streaming Facebook, Instagram. Also, this will be available on the Houston West Chamber of Commerce, hwcoc.org website under the tab Guests in the West Show. So we really appreciate Juan and Jonathan and the team here at NowMedia in making this possible and allowing us to use their studio to be able to bring to you what we feel is extremely impactful, especially considering the environment that we're in. We're excited for our first guest. So we're going to jump right in and talk with founder of Grafton Funding, Ian Tucker. Ian is available through us via Skype. Ian, are you there?
I sure am. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for taking the time to be able to share your story. Obviously, in this world of social distancing, you are there back at home, keeping yourself safe and keeping the community safe. So for those that aren't familiar with who you are, can you share your story a little bit?
Sure. My background is I'm Irish, and I've lived in Houston for 5 years. My wife is a native Houstonian, and my background originally back in Ireland was in the bar and restaurant industry. Originally finance before that, but bar and restaurant industry, and now I'm in the finance world again. So I own a company called Grafton Funding. We're a specialized commercial financing company. We help businesses of all sizes access funding when they need it, particularly small businesses, whether they're in trouble or whether they're expanding, growing, whatever it might be.
Wonderful. So what got you into the commercial lending side of business?
Well, two things. I have a degree in economics and math from a long time ago. And I guess in my experience owning small businesses, I could see the frustration in small businesses trying to access financing when they needed it. Most business owners, if you need money, you go to your bank. But then what do you do if the bank says no? You know, maybe your credit's not the best, maybe your cash flow is not the best, maybe you're a new business. So what are the options there? So in me researching options for my own business, I guess I kind of saw the difficulties and the hurdles people have to jump over, and decided that was something I'd like to start helping with.
That's wonderful. So what a great way to use your passion and interest in economics and mathematics into the business world. And right now, it's got to be a very unique time for a lot of business owners needing some short-term capital. Some of the people are in temporary shutdown, looking to be able to fend for the payroll and overall expenses. What are some of the things that you're doing right now, given the current environment, and helping out not only your clients but people that might be in need?
Well, right now it is basically pretty much 100% of what I'm doing is the PPP loan, the Paycheck Protection Program that is part of the CARES Act, $2 trillion relief package that was announced a week and a half or so ago by Congress, and which came online on Friday last week. Well, technically came online Friday last week. It's been a bit of a mess in terms of the launch. So right now, 100% of my time is taken up with trying to help business owners secure the PPP loan, which is effectively an entitlement that pretty much every business in the country can get to help with payroll expenses and some rent or mortgage interest expenses and utilities. So that's taken up all my time right now.
And I know one of the frustrating things is navigating some of that paperwork. Is that something that you guys do over there at Grafton Funding to help people kind of walk them through the process, or is this one of the things that's more electronic? You kind of send them the link and they can kind of do it on their own?
Oh, no, not at all. So no, we're not just here's everything, off you go to the bank. No, not at all. So we're consulting with clients. Anyone that comes to us that needs help, I don't really care what size they are. A lot of banks are turning away really small businesses. They only want to deal with certain dollar amount loans. We're not doing that at all. We're trying to help everybody. We don't care where your bank account is, anything like that. We will advise you on what paperwork is needed to file. There's obviously some forms you have to fill in yourself and sign them, of course, but it's pretty simple, honestly. There's not that much paperwork involved. It's pretty easy to get the documents together that you need, and then we're processing that with one of our lending partners, and then the lending partner is funding the loan.
That's wonderful. So really giving them a kind of a hand-in-hand walk through the process to be able to help them understand and know exactly kind of how the process works. That's really important. So what are some of the things that you might be telling people right now, a lot of the business owners in this current environment?
I mean, it's hard, it's obviously tough. It's not something we can really sugarcoat. It's just a case of, honestly, right now, just every business in the country needs to get this Paycheck Protection Program loan in place. It's a forgivable loan, so long as you use it for what you're supposed to use it for, you don't have to pay it back. And everyone just needs to get it in place, and that should cover the major expenses for the next 2 months. It doesn't cover everything, obviously, but at least it keeps employees paid, rent paid, and then hopefully in the next month or 2 months, this situation we're in goes away and everyone can start getting back to normal. But it's tough right now for business. It's really tough.
Yeah, no, I like that. I appreciate the reality and kind of understanding where we are. At the same time, there is some assistance available, as you mentioned, through the CARES Act. Where can people find that information from you, Ian, about that option for them and their business?
So it's on our website, which is graftonfunding.com. Grafton is spelled Grafton, graftonfunding.com. And when you go to the website, there's a big banner at the top of the page that will link to a page with some information and a quick questionnaire. It will take about 3 minutes to fill in the questionnaire, and then that questionnaire will come to us, and we will reach back out and start requesting the actual documents that you need to put together, and then we can get working on processing the loan for you. We're definitely asking people to be patient. This is a crazy situation right now. This system launched on Friday. If you listen to media reports, it's all apparently going swimmingly well, but that's just not the case at all. It's been an absolute disaster from a rollout perspective from the SBA. But people like us and banks and lenders are just trying to work through it and just deal with everybody one by one, and just get the funding out to people. But we definitely ask to be patient, but you will get a response. The advantage of dealing with someone like us is I personally am going to email you or call you. If you try and call a Bank of America or Chase or any of these banks right now, you are one of 750,000 or 1 million people trying to contact them right now. If you want me to handle this for you, you will have a personal contact to me, which I can answer questions, I can help,
That's wonderful, and I think it's important during this time of the year to make sure that you're working with someone that can really help you navigate this current situation. So, if for those of you that are watching online right now in video, Jonathan was able to bring up Ian's page there. It's Grafton Funding, GraftonFunding.com. And right there, he talks about the SBA Paycheck Protection Program that's available. And also then you can just quickly scroll down and you can link in, get started to have a conversation. For those that are maybe a little more savvy reaching out at a phone number, what's a good phone number for folks to get a hold of you at, Ian?
And the phone number is 346-610-5409. So it's 346-610-5409. I will be honest, email or contact through the website is going to get you a quicker response. The phone is pretty hard to get to right now. If you want to email, it's info@graftonfunding.com. So info@graftonfunding.com. But definitely, you can call, absolutely, and we will come back to you. But if you want a quicker response, email or contact through the website is faster.
All right, so you heard it there. Extremely busy during this time of the year, and emails me the best way to contact him. So really appreciate that, Ian. Any last final thoughts for the business owners that are listening to the podcast or the show?
Just all I would say is just hang in there. Just hang in there, and there's not a lot of comfort to be taken right now. But if anything, just take comfort in knowing that you're not alone. That everyone's going through this, and everyone's gonna have to get through it together, and just stick with it as best you can. Do get the money that you can get, which Congress has put aside. There is methods there to get some money to help, and then just hopefully we ride this out, and things will get back to normal. But just keep the faith, I guess. That's all I can really say.
Appreciate it. Wise words. And final thought for you, Ian. A lot of chambers that you could belong to. Why are you and Grafton Funding a member of the Houston West Chamber of Commerce?
So yeah, there is a lot of chambers out there. I think in the research I've done and looking at the different ones, that I think the Houston West one is probably the best one I came across for business to business, definitely. And there's a real emphasis on that, and especially for my business. I don't do financing for individuals. I only do financing for businesses. So I needed to be able to really access business owners. And I definitely find that the business to business side of it's very good. And the events are always a great turnout too. The lunches, the coffees, all that kind of stuff. There's always a lot of people there, and the after hours networking. So it's always a good chance to meet new people and then build relationships with the people that you see all the time too, which is great.
Well, really appreciate you being a member of the Houston West Chamber of Commerce. Appreciate you taking the time this morning to share with us some of the great things that you're doing over there. Ian Tucker of Grafton Funding, everybody. So feel free to reach out to him at graftonfunding.com. Best way to get in touch with him, especially during this time of year, is via email. And really appreciate the thoughts and words of advice. I know that we'll be following up with Ian if there's some opportunity to put some of the material about how business owners can connect with that. We'll be putting on our website, especially on Facebook, where we have the group supporting those local businesses, our members in that group. So again, Ian, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us this morning.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick break from a word from our sponsor, and then we're going to come back and talk about ways that you can really be leveraging Zoom, particularly during this stay-at-home situation. So let's first hear a word from our sponsor.
In this digital age, conventional business cards are a thing of the past. In fact, most people lose them in minutes of having received them. The NowMedia Video Business Card is recorded with cutting-edge technology designed to be sent out quickly and easily using your smartphone. It features your contact information, summary of all your company's products and services, as well as giving you a fresh and innovative look. Hundreds of companies are already seeing the difference. Call us at 832-384-9588.
West Chamber from Mutual of Omaha. We are here as a collaboration between the Houston West Chamber of Commerce and Now Media Studio. So we're grateful for Now Media Studio, Jonathan and Juan and the team here in producing this show, making it available at hwcoc.org under Guests in the West tab. So really appreciate Ian coming on and sharing with us his thoughts for business owners, how they can utilize some of the great things that was recently passed by the CARES Act. Now, it's a little bit of story time, folks. It's been a while reading to you a little bit of Aesop's Fable. So I saw this one the other night, and I wanted to be able to share it with you. And so I'm going to give you this story. And so let's see how you enjoy it. This one is called Two Frogs. All right? So there were once two frogs who were neighbors. One lived in a marsh where there was plenty of water, which frogs love. The other dwelt on the same lane, in a lane some distance away. There was no water except the puddles which lay about after it had rained. The marsh frog often worried about the other frog. She was anxious that if there were several weeks without rain, the puddles would dry up, and so would her neighbor. The marsh frog warned her friend and pressed him to come and live with her in the marsh, but he would find his surroundings there far more comfortable, more importantly, safe. But the other refused, saying he could not bring himself to move from a place to which that he had not become accustomed. A few days after it rained, and there was lots of puddles in the lane for the frog to splash in. Suddenly, a heavy wagon came down the lane, and the frog was crushed to death beneath the wheels. So the moral of this story is: do not fear change because it's unknown. It is often better to embrace it. I think right now we find ourselves in a very unique set of circumstances for a lot of us working from home for the first time. And even if you're working from home, all of a sudden now the rest of the world is working from home. For those people that are in essential business like Now Media, that are in the communications world, helping us navigate this time period, allowing businesses to be able to still communicate their messages, sharing forth important ways of communication, I'd say that's crucial for anybody that's in business, whether you're an employee, an entrepreneur, a business owner, a founder, whatever title you want to give yourself. Now it's about communication, communication, communication. Realtors have that great phrase when it comes to buying real estate: location, location, location. And the same thing works phrase-wise for those in the communication, for those trying to navigate this particular set of circumstances. It's about communicating with others, communicating with your clients, communicating with your employees, communicating with your coworkers, and most importantly, communicating with those that are immediately around you. These are uncertain times. At the same time, we've been through some uncertain times in the past. Now, I know if you look at history, there hasn't been a time in the United States where we had this kind of lockdown, this kind of stay indoors kind of mandate. However, we've been through a lot of things that we weren't prepared for before, and we got out much, not only stronger, but we learned how to navigate change. And so for anybody that's there listening, I would say from a business perspective, the way that you have to adjust right now is communicating with everybody. Let them know that you're in business, whether that's via video format that you're doing, whether that's an email, whether that's a post on LinkedIn. There are great ways to be able to make sure that you're communicating and adjusting to the change that's before us. The other thing that I would say is, once we're behind this, don't think that all of a sudden immediately it's going to change overnight and all of a sudden we're going to go to social connection. Social distancing might be here for quite some time as we navigate trying to not only flatten the curve, but also keep it safe for everybody. So one of the things that people have asked me quite a bit now that we're leveraging a lot of these online tools is, I would say, how to navigate Zoom, how to navigate, GoToMeeting, Skype, FaceTime, a lot of these video conferencing. And so one of the things I wanted to bring up was some of the 12 tips of leveraging Zoom. So one of the first ones that I'll let people know is look at your space. Whenever you set up your Zoom, if there are windows behind you and there's sunlight coming through, your face is gonna get blurred out, plus the lighting is gonna look all messed up. So you wanna be able to make sure that you're communicating your Zoom and having a window in front of you. That's gonna give you better lighting onto your face. Number 2 is in the video settings. So if you're on the desktop version or the laptop, on the bottom left-hand side, there is a little camera. You can mute your camera. You can mute your mic. The space bar, if you hold that down, allows you to unmute yourself temporarily. Once you let go of the space bar, it automatically goes back to mute. So those are great for those meetings where you're in the listening mode, and then you might be called upon to say something, and instead of fumbling trying to find out where your mouse cursor is, all of a sudden you can now just press the space bar. The next thing I would say, if you're down near that camera, you can change your virtual background. So you can upload any image that you like, and in the background, instead of it being literally what's right behind you, the pile of laundry that needs to get folded, maybe a shot of part of the bathroom, and if you're in the master bedroom or your bed, you can put a virtual background right behind you, and all of a sudden now it's a clean, crisp look, and people are just looking at you. When I was doing a Zoom networking event a couple weeks ago, I was in the garage. So I don't want people to see a bunch of tools and other things that can be distracting. So when we can have our visual behind us, our virtual background, that's going to be very, very important. The next thing to have a look at when it comes to your speaking, your audio, is make sure that your microphone works. If you've decided to plug in with your microphone, or you got the Bluetooth in, understand that when you move your head and you're tallied with the wire, you're going to adjust the way that you sound. And so you're going to want to be able to make sure that you're maybe holding the microphone in front of you, so that way your sound is coming off crisp and sharp. The other thing that I would say for a lot of people is get in there early and utilize the waiting room. So when you first set up a meeting, you can actually check a box that says enable waiting room. That is a great opportunity. So when you load up your Zoom and you're the host, what you can do then is, as people log in, they're not automatically thrown into the mix. They actually put into a waiting room, and then you admit them into the room. So this is great for those people that are maybe in a managerial or leadership role, and they might have back-to-back one-on-one meetings, and you don't want the person to come in all of a sudden to come in. So think of it from the perspective of, remember, it's a virtual room, and so if there's a waiting room out there, the people, they congregate out there, and then only one at a time do you let them in, and then you can also then push them back into the waiting room through Zoom. Important to get there on time. Just like you would in a normal meeting, get there 5 or 10 minutes early, load up that Zoom meeting. If you want to, I've been doing this lately,